Hey Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82 here with another action figure review. Today I'm looking at the Black Spider Rendezvous codename G.I. Joe figure from the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. This was released in 2019 with the final 12. Here's a look at the figure in package. We've got the classic G.I. Joe logo on the top. On the top right is an Adventure Team logo. On the left is some really nice artwork that is very reminiscent of the vintage item this is inspired by. And we have a retro Hasbro logo down on the bottom left. And here is the figure in the bubble. Here's the back of the card. We have that same artwork on the top. On the right it says G.I. Joe Club exclusive 11 of 12. And on the bottom we have the file card. On the top it says Black Spider Rendezvous, codename G.I. Joe. File name, classified, primary military specialty, aerial reconnaissance, secondary military specialty, mountaineering, birthplace, Springdale, Utah. The first paragraph says, G.I. Joe is assigned to transport top secret plans for a new defense system to the United States government. A mysterious agent known as the Black Spider currently has the plans and he must rendezvous with her to obtain the critical information. The adventure team transports him to the remote mountainous region where he is scheduled to meet the Black Spider. However, the plane can only go so far into the impenetrable mountains. G.I. Joe must strap on his helicopter backpack to travel the rest of the way. While flying through the mountain pass, G.I. Joe spots the ominous Coils O'Doom and two Mars henchmen on a nearby crag. He must quickly formulate a battle plan to deal with them before he's able to meet with Black Spider and obtain the plans. It's just another daring and dangerous mission for a member of the adventure team. The quote on the bottom says, I boldly fly into the unknown to grapple with danger. This figure is based on a vintage item, but not from the 82 to 94 A Real American Hero line. It goes back further than that to the adventure team. And to help give you the info, here's my friend Tony from Analog Toys.
Hello JoeFan82 fans, I'm Tony from Analog Toys and today I'm going to talk to you about the Adventure Team Black Widow Rendezvous set that this G.I. Joe Collectors Club figure is based on. Growing up in the United Kingdom I was never aware of this amazing G.I. Joe set because in England we only got Action Man toys, which was the British incarnation of G.I. Joe. The first time I became aware of this set was sometime around 1993 when I saw it photographed on the back of the Cobra Commander box from the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame series. I remember thinking that this set looked really cool with its all black outfit, which gave the set the feel of an infiltration / night ops set and was also reminiscent of the Action Man SAS range. The set repurposed many previously used accessories, such as the pistol and shoulder holster from the French Resistance Fighter set and the Sten gun from the British Commando. But by far the best accessory was the Adventure Team Turbocopter, which this time around was issued in black plastic to give it a sleek, almost Special Forces type feel. The original Adventure Team Turbocopter was moulded in yellow plastic, but the one I have in my collection comes from Palitoy's Action Man line, and this foreign variation was moulded in dark green. This is an excellent accessory with tons of play value. If a child depressed the button on the side of the backpack in quick succession, the rotors would start to spin, giving the illusion that your G.I. Joe or Action Man could actually take flight. The helmet accessory for the Black Widow Rendezvous had been released before with the Aerial Recon set. However, what makes this helmet unique is this is the only time it was ever issued in silver plastic. The Black Widow Rendezvous set is extremely rare and I consider it to be the best looking later issue outfit for the Adventure Team. And I'm very pleased to know that the G.I. Joe Collectors Club has re-released this set in the smaller G.I. Joe format. Now let's get on with the rest of JoeFan82's review. Yo Joe!
Thanks, Tony. If you guys have not checked out his channel, I highly recommend it. Tony is an expert on the vintage 12-inch Action Man line, as well as 12-inch G.I. Joe and other 70s and 80s vintage toys like Mego, Star Wars, the list goes on. So do yourselves a favor, go check it out, Analog Toys. And here's the figure out of the package. His helmet is a reissue of the sci-fi helmet we saw in the Pursuit of Cobra figure. It's been recolored silver and blue to match the vintage figure, and it's got an Adventure Team logo in the front center. If we remove the helmet, we have what I think is really the coolest part about this figure. His head sculpt is almost identical to what the vintage 12-inch G.I. Joe figure would look like with the flocked hair. It looks like he's got flocked hair on him. It's a little bit textured. I think this head sculpt is a great homage to the vintage 12-inch figures, and I think that's something that they should have done in the 50th anniversary, which was the 50th anniversary of the vintage line. So yeah, I really like this head sculpt. Moving down, he's got an all black outfit, very similar to figures such as Snake Eyes. He's got two sets of web gear. The first is on his left shoulder. It's light brown and it has a molded in black handgun. The second set of web gear is all black. It goes around his waist and around both shoulders. Plenty of pouches and places to put items he would need for his adventure. The rest of his uniform is nicely detailed. It's all black, but some nice sculpted in detail that you can see. A point of contention I have with this figure are the wrists. If you'll look, it looks like he got bit by a poisonous snake in his wrist and they are swelled up like baseballs. It just doesn't look right. I guess they made that joint bigger to accommodate the extra articulation, but it from certain angles it just really does not look great. I can do without the extra articulation if it means a more natural looking appearance. Let's look at his articulation. His head can do a full 360 if you need him to do that for some reason. Slight up and down movement. His shoulders do a full 360 and come up about so far. He's got a 90-degree bend at the elbow. His wrists do 360-degree turn and another joint right there. His legs come up about so far. He's got double jointed knees. And his ankles do a full 360 with a nice toe point. Let's look at his accessories. He comes with a black rifle. It's sculpted nicely and it fits well in his hands, as would be expected with his kung fu grip. He's got a silver helmet with a blue face shield and the Adventure Team logo on the top front. This is the same helmet we saw with Sci-Fi, released in 2011 with the Pursuit of Cobra line. A black and silver helicopter backpack. This is a really cool piece. He's got two handlebars that come down. This is very reminiscent of the vintage item, and it just works really well in my opinion. Silver and black blades on the helicopter section on the top. Nice clearance for his head. He doesn't have to worry about chopping his head off with the blades. A nice accessory that works well with the figure. And one figure stand. It has the G.I. Joe logo on the top, and on the front it says Black Spider Rendezvous. Overall, this is a pretty good figure. I really like the head sculpt. They did a great job on that. The helicopter backpack is an awesome accessory, and the design of the figure really captures that vintage look. If you're a fan of the 12-inch line and the Adventure Team, you can't go wrong with this figure. I highly recommend him. So that's my review for Black Spider Rendezvous, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. I want to remind you guys that I have a Patreon account at patreon.com/JoeFan82, where for as little as $1 a month, you can see my review videos one day early, as well as some other exclusive stuff that I put only on Patreon. So go check that out. And I'm also sharing collection photos here on my channel. If you would be interested in sharing your collection with me and everybody else out there, you can send me an email to gijoefan82@gmail.com and include a link to your collection photos and a brief description of your collection and how you would like me to refer to you, your real name if you want, or an online handle, and I will put them at the end of my review videos as a nice little surprise. So I've kind of run out right now. Nobody's sent in any for a while, so I'm wide open, guys. Go ahead and send them on in and we'll share with everyone. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.